Good opening period for the boys in the green and white, and yet again Dan Toomey will try his luck from a placed ball. Dan bends over the ball, strikes a great ball this time, and it's straight and through over the bar. The opening score for Aghabullogue from midfielder Dan Toomey. A just reward for their early efforts. Colm O'Sullivan with the puck out, he's third of the afternoon. Not his best one so far, but comes out into the near side. Pulled on inside there by Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid is beaten, however, to the ball goes over the sideline, and the sideline ball to Aghabullogue. Dan Toomey yet again to take this sideline ball. Cuts it beauty in towards the centre of the field. Hurleys go up. Pulled on the ground there by, and again the Aghabullogue boys faster to the pull. Number 14, Edward Summers drives the ball in towards the goal. Pulled on inside again. Oh, hits ball off the post and deflected into the goal there. A goal for Aghabullogue, scored by their right corner forward, Dan Hinchin. Alert to the breaking ball inside, came off the post. Ball streaked across the goal, and Dan Hinchin was ever alert. Pucked out by Colm O'Sullivan, lands in the middle of the field. Once again the ball breaking loose around there. Pulled on by the number 5 for Aghabullogue, Alan Noonan. Ball still loose around the middle of the field. Centre half back Michael Norton clears it, but blocked. His attempted clearance is blocked. Up towards his centre forward, however, Niall Riley. Niall chasing the ball over here to the knee side. Lifts it beautifully, but knocked out of his hand and over the sideline by Dan Toomey. Sideline ball for Cloyne, a chance to mount their first serious attack of the afternoon. To be taken for them by Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid right-handed, cuts a great ball up towards his half-forward line, batted away by the Aghabullogue defence. Pulled on by the number 8 for Aghabullogue, the Brian McElroy. Only as far, however, as Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid is blocked. Ball breaks in around the centre of the field. Number 12, Daniel Dwyer's forage is hardened there, breaks loose. Muzzle around the middle of the field, pulled on by Brian McElroy. Ball breaks this time again to Dan Toomey. Dan drives a great ball, missed by the full back. Joseph Perrott lifts the ball, turns beautifully inside 2 defenders, and he's headed towards goal. Drives a great ball straight and through over the bar. Second point of the day for Aghabullogue, scored by their centre half forward Joseph Perrott. Lovely piece of skill from Joseph. These two teams played a thrilling game in their league encounter, with victory going to the Cloyne by a narrow margin of just 2 points. Ball driven out towards the middle of the field, whipped on but missed. Number 5 is Alan Noonan, pulling hard. Pulling too hard, however, says referee Joe O'Leary, and a free into the Cloyne. Darren O'Shea decides to leave the ball. In fact, it was number 12, Conor O'Lomastey, decided to leave it. O'Lomastey leaves the ball. Taken by the midfielder. Driven in towards the goal mouth. Pulled on inside there by the Aghabullogue centre half back, Raymond Foley. Out towards the middle of the field. Raymond Foley pulls on the ball again. Centre half forward Joseph Perrott helping his defence. Ball breaks around the midfield. Driven forward by the Cloyne. Pulled on well there by David Cusack in towards the goal. Out comes the full back, sweeps the ball out here towards the near side. David Foley pulls again. Beaten to the pull this time by William Perrott. Ball breaks out and to centre forward Niall Riley in towards the goal. Ball loose in there, in for the taking. Pulled on inside, some hard pulling going on. Out come the left half back for William Perrott, clears the ball. Only as far, however, as Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid is half blocked. In, however, towards his corner forward. That's Shawnee Costin. Shawnee is beaten to the ball. Picked up, however, by Niall Riley. Niall is blocked, and the ball comes over the sideline here on the near side. Sideline ball to Cloyne. Chance for them to mount a worthwhile attack. Number 9, Diarmuid Costin, comes over to take this. Had one sideline puck already, hit the ball very well. What can he do with this one? Backs and forwards, wait inside. Cut beautifully across the goals. That's a dangerous ball. Batted out, but pulled on by Niall Riley. Beaten, however, this time by the Aghabullogue defence. Pulled on inside there. Ball breaks loose on the near side. Picked up by the number 9, Dermot Costin. Dermot slips. Adjudged to have fouled the ball by referee Joe O'Leary, and the free out to Aghabullogue. A chance to relieve the pressure. Once again, Dan Toomey stands over the ball. Has hit some great frees so far in this game. Joe O'Leary tells Dan to bring the ball forward. Must have heard something from one of the Cloyne players. Joe, a referee that doesn't stand on ceremony, likes to stamp his authority on the game. Dan Toomey lifts the ball. Great ball in towards his full forward line. Ball breaks loose inside. Out comes Cloyne full back, comes out, misses the ball, goes across the goal. Pulled on by Daniel Murray. Out to his left half back, Brian Fleming. Brian pulls it again, a great clearance over to the far side. As far as Conor O'Lomasney. Conor beaten, however, this time by Alan Noonan, and Alan clears the ball over the far side. Ball, however, goes over the sideline, and the sideline ball is to Cloyne. A chance for them to clear the pressure. Two Cloynemen standing over the ball. Man to take it is left half back Brian Fleming. Brian, great cut again from Brian. Great standard of sideline taking in this match. Gets the ball, however, only as far as Dan Toomey. Dan drives a great ball into his forward line. Pulled on by an Aghabullogue forward. Over to his left corner forward, that's Tim Murphy. Tim picks the ball, is blocked, follows it through again. Some great pulling outside there between Tim and Brian Costin. The ball, however, goes out, this time harmlessly wide. And another puck out to the Cloyne boys. Score remains at this stage. Aghabullogue 1-2. Cloyne, no score. 10 minutes gone in the first half of this game. One out there by the number 9, Dermot Costin. Dermot is blocked but pulls in the ball, gets a great ball up to his right corner forward, Shawnee Costin. Shawnee beaten to the ball. This stage ball goes over the line, a line ball to Aghabullogue. And once again Dan Toomey goes back to take that ball. Dan keeping extremely busy from place ball situations. Another great cut from Dan. Centre back and centre forward go. This time Joseph Perrott wins the clash. Pulled on by Timmy Murphy. Knocked out by Colm O'Sullivan for Cloyne. Brian Costin attempts to clear the ball, and Colm O'Sullivan pulls it again, but his clearance goes over the sideline, and another sideline ball for Aghabullogue. This time Dan Toomey moves away from the ball. Cut in well by Perrott. Blocked out, however, by Michael Norton. Has played a great season for his team. Pulled across the goal again by Joseph Perrott. Looking for it is his corner forward, Dan Henson. Dan is beaten, however, by Daniel Murray. Cleared out to the half-back line. In there is Shawnee Toomey for Aghabullogue. Shawnee gets the ball into his hands, but this time it goes just to the right and wide. Score remains 1 goal and 2 points for Aghabullogue. No score for Cloyne. John Murphy, as is usual, will take the puck out for Cloyne. Drives a long one, dropping in the middle of the field. Pulled on inside there by Conor O'Lomasney. Into full back and full forward. Cleared out, however, by the full back by Colm O'Sullivan. Only, however, lands, however, to Dermot Costin. Dermot is half blocked. Pulled on by Conor again. Ball goes loose. Niall Riley is after it for Cloyne. Tries to lift it, fails, pulls on the ball into his full forward line. Shawnee Costin comes across, attempts to pick it up, fails. Pulled by the full forward in towards the keeper, and the keeper drops it but clears it in the second attempt. That's Joseph Ronan out to the near side. Backs and forwards pulling for the ball. William Perrott this time manages to effect a good clearance out towards the middle of the field. Michael Norton drives the ball back in, pulled on inside there by Niall Riley. Ball, however, well cleared by the Aghabullogue defence, and referee Joe O'Leary judges that a foul that has been committed and a free out to Aghabullogue. Number 9, Dan Toomey takes the free, drives it down to his half-forward line. Joseph Perrott pulls the ball. Colm O'Sullivan first to that one. Again, Colm gets it into his hand and drives a great clearance down to his half-forward line. Midfielder Dan Toomey is there again for Aghabullogue. Dan drives the ball towards the middle of the field to his midfield partner and captain Brian McElroy. Brian attempts to pick the ball up, fails, pulls on it, and the ball goes out over the far sideline. Sideline ball for Cloyne. Score still remains Aghabullogue 1-2, Cloyne no score. 14 minutes gone in the first half. Good start for Cloyne. The game has evened up a lot, or for Aghabullogue, game has evened up a lot since then. Here's Darren O'Shea making progress up the left wing. Still Darren O'Shea forages after the ball. He's tackling in there with Dan Toomey. Free in to the Cloyne boys. A chance for them to mount an attack and perhaps get their first score of the game. Left half forward, Conor Lumsney takes the ball. Decides to leave it, however. In fact, that's Conor coming out now for the ball. Conor Lumsney stands over the ball. Great chance for Cloyne to get their first score of this final. Conor lifts, strikes in towards the full forward line. Pulled on inside there, batted down by one of the Aghabullogue midfielders. That's Brian McElroy. Clear towards the middle of the field. Number 11 again, Joseph Perrott chases the ball, drives it into his full forward. That's Edward Summers. Edward and Colm O'Sullivan clash for that one. Ball goes over the sideline on the far side. Sideline ball to Aghabullogue. Joseph Perrott stands over this one. Joseph looking for the short one. Across the field to his midfielder, Dan Toomey. Dan is beaten on this occasion by Darren O'Shea. Ball breaks loose, however, pulled on by an Aghabullogue player in towards the full forward line. Cleared, however, by Daniel Murray, only as far as the midfielder for Aghabullogue. That's Brian McElroy. Brian attempts to lift it, fails. Pulled on by Joseph Perrott. Out comes Colm O'Sullivan, the sound and sturdy Cloyne full-back. Colm drives the ball up to the left-hand side of the field. One inside there for Cloyne by Darren O'Shea. Darren, ball knocked off Darren's stick. Sideline ball for Cloyne. Darren cuts the ball in towards the centre. Aghabullogue first to it again on this occasion, however. Clearance comes only to left half back Brian Fleming. Brian is blocked but gets a clearance. Ball breaks loose and well pulled on there by William Perrott. Edward Summers adds to it, but the ball is cleared out again by the Cloyne men. Up to left half forward, Conor. Conor strikes the ball, comes into the middle of the field. Ball breaks loose there. Pulled on by Raymond Foley and missed. Raymond follows it out, but the number 8 for Cloyne, Darren O'Shea, drives it into his forward line. Number 10 and number 2 tussling well inside there. But great clearance coming across the field well there is left half-back William Perrott, but William's clearance goes over the sideline. Sideline ball for Cloyne. Diarmuid Costin goes over to take this. Has cut a few great balls already in this match. Strikes it well, high in towards the full forward line. Backs and forwards go up. Ball breaks into a Cloyne corner forward. That's Seanie Costin. Seanie pulls on the ball and sticks it in the back of the net. Great score by Seanie Costin brings Cloyne right back into this game. 1-2 to 1 goal. Pucked out by Joseph Ronan out to the middle of the field. We have a game in our hands now. Michael Norton pulls in it for Cloyne. Dan Toomey after it in the near side here. Still Dan Toomey forages for it. Up towards his left half forward. That's Daniel Dwyer. Daniel beaten inside there by Michael Norton. To his midfielder, that's Darren O'Shea. Added to. Over in the near side by Niall Riley. Niall charges up the line after the ball. Pulls a great ball across in towards the right corner back Michael Buckley for Cloyne. Michael clears the ball over to the far side. It's going to be picked up by Conor Lumsney. Conor turns right-handed, a great ball into the goal, but it's cleared out again by the Aghabullogue defence. Good clearance. Number 11, Joseph Perrott chases the ball. Only as far, however, as the Cloyne full-back Colm O'Sullivan. Long, dangerous raking ball in towards Seanie Costin. Seanie pulls, but the ball goes off Seanie's stick and just narrowly wide. This is a good spell in the match for Cloyne. They've come right back into it. In the meantime, over on the near side of the field, referee Joe Leary runs over to attend one of the Cloyne players. That's number 9, Diarmuid Costin. Mentor's running onto the field. Diarmuid looks as if he may be winded. Still on his knees. A thrilling start so far to this game. 18 minutes gone. Score 1 goal and 2 points to Aghabullogue, 1 goal to Cloyne. Aghabullogue are playing in their 6th final in a row with Scoil. They've won 4 out of 5 finals in hurling to date. Cloyne, of course, a club with a great tradition. Followers of hurling everywhere will be familiar with the red and black strip. Diarmuid rises to his feet. The mentors are jogging off the field over to the far side. Referee Joe Leary about to blow his whistle, and to puck out the ball will be Trevor Deedy. Trevor, great ball from Trevor, lands out in the middle of the field. Up goes Diarmuid, bats the ball forward as far as Niall Riley. Niall pulls in the ball left-sided in towards his full forward Coleman Cotter. Coleman beaten on this occasion by John Murphy. John gets a clearance as far as Dan Toomey. Dan drives a great ball into his full forward line. Ball breaks loose towards Tim Murphy. Tim, however, is beaten at a pull very well by Daniel Murray, the left corner back for Cloyne, covering across expertly. Full-back Colm O'Sullivan lifts the ball and drives a clearance over to the near side of the field. Ball goes out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Aghabullogue. They lead by 1 goal and 2 points to 1 goal. Centre forward Joseph Perrott stands over the ball. This time elects to hit it towards his corner forward Dan Henson. Dan is beaten on this occasion, but the ball breaks loose across the goal, pulled on in there by Brian McElroy, but the ball drifts just to the left of the post and wide. Once again Colm O'Sullivan, slitter in his hand, drives the ball towards the near side. Midfielders go up over the head of Diarmuid Costin, picked up there by Dan Toomey. Up to his left half forward Daniel Dwyer. Daniel beautifully picks the ball up and embarks on a solo run. Turns right-handed and strikes it into his corner forward Tim Murphy. Tim pulls in the ball. Beaten, however, by Brian Costin. Pulled on again and in towards centre half forward Joseph Perrott. Joseph is under pressure from Colm O'Sullivan. Ball breaks in towards the middle of the field. Picked up there by Dan Toomey. Cleared, however, by the number 7 for Cloyne. That's Brian Fleming. Up towards the half forward line. Pulled on inside there by David Cusick. Aghabullogue clear well, goes out towards number 2 Michael Buckley. Michael pulls in the ball, but it goes over the sideline on the far side of the field. Sideline ball to Cloyne. Still, scoreline remains 1 goal and 2 points to Aghabullogue, 1 goal for Cloyne. There's a stoppage over around the centre, as I think the slitter may be lost at this stage. Referee Joe Leary standing there, hands on hips. They're looking for a slitter from the boys behind the goal. No delays really permitted here in the Sciath finals in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Conditions on the pitch are extremely heavy today following a lot of overnight rain. In the circumstances, these two teams are serving up a fine exhibition of hurling. Sideline ball taken by the Cloyneman. Conor Lumsby goes for the ball, pulls in it. Out towards midfielder, that's Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid drives a great ball in towards the goals. In towards Seanie Costin, but the ball goes over Seanie's head and wide, and with that referee Joe Leary blows the half-time whistle. Aghabullogue lead by 1 goal and 2 points to 1 goal. We're all set for the second half of this exciting Riney Sciath final, sponsored of course by the Cork Examiner. This game there for the taking by whichever side wants to win it the most. Number 11, Niall Riley, forages in there for Cloyne. Pulled on inside there by David Cusick. Ball breaks around the middle of the field. There's a Shamuzzle out there. Dermot Costin, who got that knock in the first half, runs after it. Dropped by Dermot and picked up, however, by the Aghabullogue midfielder, who was fouled. And the free to Aghabullogue in the early stages of this second half. Aghabullogue got a great start to this game, but the Cloyne boys have come back extremely well. Ball driven forward, not a great one. Picked up by Darren O'Shea. Darren embarks on a solo run, turns left-handed but is hooked brilliantly. Picked up in the middle of the field by Dan Toomey. Dan is half blocked. Ball breaks to left half back Brian Fleming. Brian pulls on it. Pulled on, however, for Aghabullogue by Raymond Foley. Only as far as Dermot Costin. Dermot solos with the ball and drives a great ball into his full forward line. Backs and forwards go up. Coleman Cotter pulls and it misses. Chasing the ball now is David Cusick. David, however, is beaten by Raymond Foley. Ball goes over to the far side of the field. Pulled on there for Cloyne by Dermot Costin. Ball, however, goes out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Aghabullogue. Bright start to the second half again from both teams. Both teams playing well despite the heavy underfoot conditions. William Perrott with the sideline ball. Not a great from William. Goes in towards the middle of the field. Pulled on inside there by backs and forwards. Number 10, David Cusick pulls in the ball. Beaten, however, by Brian McElroy. Brian is fouled and the free out this time is for Aghabullogue. Chance to relieve the early Cloyne pressure. Dan Toomey once again stands over the ball. Dan hurled a lot of ball in the first half. Lifts it, strikes it, long ball, dropping in the half forward line. Hurleys go up. Number 3, Colm O'Sullivan tries to pick it. Pulled on inside there by Michael Norton. Only, however, as far as Brian McElroy. Brian is beaten this time by Dermot Costin, having a very good start to the second half. Dermot's delivery, however, goes over the sideline on the far side, and another sideline ball, and this one will once again be taken by Dan Toomey. Dan choosing his spot very carefully over there. No score so far in the second half of this game. Still remains as it was at half time. 1-2 for Aghabullogue, 1 goal for Cloyne. Cleared well by Brian Fleming towards the middle of the field. Brian McElroy goes after the ball. Falls to Darren O'Shea. Darren fails to rise and is beaten by Brian McElroy again. Tips it in his hurley and strikes a good ball up towards his centre half forward. Foraging in there now is Shawnee Toomey. Shawnee lifts the ball left-handed, drives a great ball towards goal. Hurley went up there from Tim Murphy but failed to connect, and the ball drifts eventually harmlessly wide. Colm O'Sullivan makes the walk back to take that puck out. Colm has hurled very soundly at full back for the Cloyne men. Drives another long ball towards the middle of the field. Hurleys go up. Picked up once again by Brian McElroy. In, however, towards Colm O'Sullivan. Great catch by Colm. Drops the ball, picks it again, drops it again, tries to pick it a second time and drives the ball. Good clearance, but again the ball goes over the sideline on the far side, and another sideline ball for Dan Toomey from Aghabullogue. Dan again meticulously places the ball, trying to engineer the attack that will yield the first score of this second half in this Cork Examiner sponsored Ryan final. Hucks a good ball, but only as far as the number 9 Dermot Costin. Dermot is blocked. In there is Brian McElroy. Brian picks it, beaten to this ball by Colm O'Sullivan. Colm beaten in turn by Brian, pulled in towards Michael Norton. Michael fails to rise it. Pulling on it again, is pulled on inside there by one of the full forward line. Coming out to lift it is the right half forward, Shawnee Toomey. Sean is beaten to it, but picked up this time very, very smartly by Daniel Dwyer, coming across from left half forward, and he slots the ball beautifully over the bar. That score could settle Aghabullogue in the start of this second half. And at this juncture there's a substitute coming on the Aghabullogue team. That's Fiona McSweeney. Ball pucked out by the keeper, lands around the middle of the field. Joe Leary judges that a foul was committed and the free in for Aghabullogue. to be taken by Dan. Lifts the ball, drives it very well in towards his full forward line. Ball breaking loose inside there, pulled on by backs and forwards. There's a goal out. Shamosl, a great save by the keeper. Ball breaks loose and eventually deflected into the net by, I think it may have been the substitute, Fiona McSweeney. I'm not sure who got that goal. But the score now is 2 goals and 3 points for Aghabullogue and just 1 goal for Cloyne. Great start once again to the second half. Referee Joe Leary calls the play back. The keeper must take the puck out again. This time it's Trevor Deedy now. Drives the ball towards the middle of the field. Hurleys go up once again. Pulled on inside there by William Perrott. Pulled on for Cloyne by Brian Fleming. Up towards David Cusick. Lifts the ball smartly. Very brave block by Michael Buckley. Pulled on again by David. Backs and forwards pull, all miss. The ball eventually smartly pulled on by Brian McElroy. Still it's loose around the middle of the field. Cleared out there well by William Perrott. Only as far, however, as Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid is superbly blocked by Dan Toomey. Ball breaks between Diarmuid and Dan. Eventually Michael Norton goes after it. There's some great tussles going on outside there at the moment. Michael pulls again, is beaten, still foraging. And coming to pick the ball eventually is Dan Toomey. Dan holds it in his stick and he in turn is blocked by Colm O'Sullivan, now operating out around the middle of the field. Ball in towards the full forward. Pulled on inside there by Daniel Dwyer. Kicked in by Fiona. But referee Joe Leary sees a foul in there and a chance now for Cloyne to relieve the danger. The number 9 for Cloyne, that's Diarmuid Costin, seems to have gone back around the full back line. Diarmuid pucks a long ball towards the middle. Colm goes for the ball. Colm O'Sullivan fails to rise it, pulls on it, drives it long towards the number 10 Shane Ahern, but the ball beats them all. Goes over the sideline, and the sideline ball once again for Aghabullogue to be taken by Dan Toomey. Dan not in any great rush to get on with proceedings. His side at this present time comfortably leading by 2 goals and 3 points to 1 goal. Drives the ball, blocked there by Michael Norton. Michael is beaten by Brian. Once again it's picked up inside there by the number 9 for Cloyne, that's Diarmuid Costin. Ball goes over the sideline, blocked off Diarmuid's stick. Sideline ball to Cloyne. Diarmuid Costin himself stands over the ball. Good striker of a dead ball. Cuts it low and hard. Backs and forwards go for it. Centre fielder again, that's Dan Toomey, picks it up. Dan drives it, missed by Diarmuid Costin, mixed by backs and forwards. Eventually Daniel Dwyer runs after it. He's beaten by John O'Riordan. John's clearance goes to Colm O'Sullivan. Colm drives a great ball, great attacking ball in towards the full forward line, coming across his right corner forward, and he buries it. A great score by right corner forward Shawnee Costin. What a sharp little forward Shawnee is. Read the situation, ball beat backs and forwards. Shawnee came across from top of the right to the top of the left position. Clearance is picked up now by Michael Norton. Drives another good ball, and in is Shawnee is in again. Is he on for another? Beaten inside, this time the ball is pulled on brilliantly by Niall Riley and lands in the back of the net. And at this stage Cloyne are right back in business. 2 goals and 3 points for Aghabullogue. 3 goals for Cloyne. This is a thriller, level scores. Picked up in around the middle of the field by Diarmuid Costin. Diarmuid has fouled. Chance to slow proceedings down and to set up another good attack for the Cloyne men. Michael Norton stands over this ball. Drives a great ball, a dangerous ball in towards the goal, but oh, it's gone inside the goal post. It's gone inside the post. It beat the backs. The keeper seemed to think that the ball may be going wide. It just fell just inside the post. And suddenly, what a turnaround we have in this game. 4 goals for Cloyne, 2 goals and 3 points for Aghabullogue. 10 minutes gone in the second half. And once again, the number 9 for Cloyne, Diarmuid Costin, has to receive attention. A chance for everybody perhaps to get their senses back. What a turnaround. This game seemed to be slipping away from the Cloyne boys when early on in the second half Aghabullogue tacked on a goal and 2 points, but they're right back in business. Shows you that in hurling 7 or 8 points is no lead at all. What a turnaround. 3 quick goals in succession, and now the Aghabullogue boys have to show what they're made of. But they have hurled well so far in this game. The keeper drives the ball out this time. Number 9, Dan Toomey, beaten in this stage to the ball. Dan, however, chases it himself, is fouled towards the near side. Referee Joe Leary awards a free in to Aghabullogue. They know now that they are up against it. They know they're up against it. Dan Toomey once again stands over the ball. Lifts it and drives a long ball. Hurleys go up once again. Ball breaks loose. Brian McElroy picks it up cleverly, and Brian turns inside defenders, turns left-handed, drives a long ball in towards the full forward line. Batted away by Daniel Murray. Out as far as Michael Norton. Pulled on by Michael Norton. Picked up well around the middle of the field by Dan Toomey. Dan off on a solo run on the near side. Could do with striking this ball. He does. Right across the field. Out comes Tim Murphy. Or in this case it's Daniel Dwyer. Daniel pulls on the ball as far as Joseph Perrott. Joseph is off on a run and strikes a great ball over the bar. That's just what Aghabullogue needed to pull them back into this game. Cloyne leading at this stage 4 goals to 2 goals and 4 points. Ball driven out to the centre of the field by Trevor Deedy. Pulled on there by Shane Ahern. Foraging after it is Niall Riley. Niall pulls on the ball into the number 13, Shawnee Costin. What a game he's having. Shawnee foraging, 3 Aghabullogue players in there with him. Beats him to the ball this time. Pulled on again by Niall Riley. As far as Shawnee picks it smartly. Drives it left-handed towards the goals. Another dangerous ball and batted it away very well at this point by Joseph Ronan for a 65. Good keeping on that occasion by Joseph Ronan. Another dangerous ball came in from Shawnee Costin, who really has had a great game right corner forward for the Cloyne boys. Michael Norton standing over the 65. Great excitement. Mentors looking very, very nervous on the far side of the field. Another dangerous lobbing ball. Missed inside there by some of the defenders, but pulled on well by Dan Toomey. Dan, however, is beaten on that occasion by Conor O'Lamasney. Ball cleared out, however, in the near side. And it's, in fact, it's a puck out to the Aghabullogue boys. Joseph Ronan drives it towards the middle of the field. Batted down by Dermot Costin. Picked up very, very well by Brian McElroy. Brian beaten by the strength, however, of Michael Norton on this stage. Michael misses his shot, knocked off his hurley. Linesman Glenn Attridge puts up his flag. Joe Leary awards the sideline puck to Aghabullogue. 6.5 minutes to go in this vastly exciting Ryan East Cork Examiner sponsored Sciath Scoil final. Driven in by Raymond Foley. In towards the goal, pulled on inside there, but cleared and picked up very well by Trevor Deedy. Out to the far side of the field. Chasing after it is Daniel Dwyer. Daniel pulls on the ball. Is beaten outside there, however, by John O'Riordan. Ball breaks into the middle of the field. Well picked up by Dermot Costin, hurling a great game. Dermot drives the ball towards his right half forward, Shane Ahern, but the ball goes out over the sideline on the far side. And it's a sideline ball for Aghabullogue. A chance for them both to avert the danger and also to mount the attack that might get them a winning score. Still 4 goals for Cloyne, 2 goals and 4 points for Aghabullogue. Dan Toomey drives the ball into the middle of the field. Picked up again by Dermot Costin, having a great second half. Another high dangerous ball. Batted down inside there only as far as Conor O'Lamasney. And it's picked up once again by Shawnee, bearing on goal. But this time Shawnee is beaten by John Murphy and the ball is cleared out very well by William Perrott. Lands in the middle of the field. Picked up superbly there by Dan Toomey. Dan is off on an exciting solo run. He beats 2 players. He's faced by Colm O'Sullivan. He turns inside him. Drives it left-handed in towards the goal. It's pulled on inside there by the full forward and the ball is in the back of the net. Edward Summers, the big full forward for Aghabullogue, clings that one into the back of the net and Aghabullogue lead by 1 point. Pucked out into the middle of the field, some hard pulling there, and once again we have an Aghabullogue or a Cloyne player down injured. That's the 3rd occasion on this game so far. difficult at this stage to see who it is, but I think it may be number 9, Diarmuid Costin, the same man who was down on 2 previous occasions. Diarmuid has certainly been in the wars in this match. Once again, the magic bottle is out. Diarmuid sips the magic bottle. Joe Leary, looking concerned over there, has handled this game extremely well. A very, very accomplished and well-known referee. Difficult to call at this stage with 5 minutes left who's going to win it. There's 1 point between the teams. It's 3-4 to Aghabullogue, 4 goals to Cloyne. We've had a thrilling match. There's been some great scores. There's been an exhibition of great striking from some of the players. Cloyne stand over the ball, drive it long in towards the half-forward line, but won brilliantly by Brian McElroy. Brian, however, fouls the ball, and unfortunately for the Aghabullogue boys, a free-in is awarded for Cloyne and a chance of the equaliser. Centre half-back Michael Norton, a fine hurler, stands over the ball, strikes confidently, but it goes to the left and wide. Some of the forwards inside there holding their heads. They know that that was a chance of an equaliser. The keeper inside there, Joseph Ronan, will be in no hurry with this, and sliotar thrown to him by an umpire. Joseph looks around, getting instructions from a mentor in the far side. Drives the ball over towards the middle of the field. Joseph Perrott goes for the ball, collects it brilliantly, striking it in towards left half forward Daniel Dwyer. Daniel is beaten by John O'Riordan, picked up however by Brian McElroy. Picked up on the near side then very well by Shawnee Toomey. He's on his way. He strikes the ball across the goals. Another dangerous ball deflected by Brian Costin. Pulled on inside by Tim Murphy, but the ball goes out over the end line for a 65. A thrilling second half here in this Riney final between 2 very evenly matched teams. As I said earlier, there wasn't a puck of a ball between those 2 sides when they met in the league encounter. We expected a tight final. We're getting a very exciting final. Driven in by Dan Toomey, driven long and dangerously, hops in front of the keeper and brilliantly dealt with by Trevor Deedy. Danger not averted yet. Picked up very smartly on the near side by Shawnee Toomey. Hand passes the ball out. It's pulled on inside there. It's picked up inside there by Brian. Another great ball in towards the goal. Another great save. The full forward goes for it. It's pulled on by Fiona, the substitute, and it's driven into the back of the net. What a goal by Fiona McSweeney, wearing no number. What a substitution she has proven to be for Aghabullogue. Now the game has swung around again and Cloyne are in trouble. Once again the Cloyne defence faced with a difficult situation. There's pulling inside there, cleared out by Daniel Murray as far as Michael Norton. Drives it to his half forward line, pulled on well inside there. The ball breaks in around the full forward line. It's pulled on by William Perrott. It's pulled on again by William, and he hits a great ball out to the near side. Won there, however, by the Cloyne centre-back Michael Norton. There's a muzzle around the middle of the field. Added to by Niall Riley. Niall chases it again. Niall beats William this time to the ball. Picks it up, drives a great ball, and it's gone over the bar. A lovely score from centre-half forward Niall Riley. There are 2 minutes left in this game, and whatever extra time referee Joe Leary might add on at his discretion. In the meantime, there's an injury on the near side of the field, this time to an Aghabullogue player. I can't see who it is, but I think it might be the number 10 Shawnee Toomey. It is the number 10 Shawnee Toomey. Shawnee was instrumental in setting up that last goal. He has played very, very cleverly in this game. 1 goal between the sides. 4 goals and 4 points for Aghabullogue. Referee Joe Leary thinks he may, however, have seen some incident. He's consulting with his 2 umpires. An experienced referee, Joe has always been known to consult with his officials. There's a suspicion of a bad pull. Is Joe reaching into his pocket for his book? Jogs out. In the meantime, the Cloyne player is still on the ground. That's Shawnee Toomey. The Aghabullogue player is still on the ground. That's Shawnee Toomey, and he's calling the number 7 Brian Fleming to one side. And Brian Fleming is having his name taken. Obviously the umpires, 2 experienced officials behind the goals, saw something that we missed up here, something perhaps that was done off the ball. The Aghabullogue mentor is inside. He's not looking too happy with the situation. Joe jogs away. It looks as if, yes, it looks as if Shawnee is okay and the game is on again. Michael Norton out there foraging for the ball, pulls on it. He's beaten to the pull on this stage by Brian McElroy, and the hard pull there by Michael Norton. Joe deems it a free to the Aghabullogue boys and a chance for them to mount another attack. Dan Toomey, a long ball for from Dan, a dangerous ball. Up goes the hand of Brian Fleming, dropped however by Brian, pulled on by Diarmuid Costain, missed. Diarmuid goes after it again. He's beaten by the Aghabullogue player, but a push there, well spotted by the referee, and a chance for Cloyne to mount an attack. Centre half forward Niall Riley coming deep, drives a long ball, a dangerous ball in towards the full forward line, backs and forwards pulling it. It's pulled inside there by Coleman Cotter, picked up very well by Michael Buckley however, but Michael's clearance goes over the sideline and the near side, and still Cloyne remain on the attack. Time is ticking away. We're in whatever added time referee Joe Leary will add on to this game. A bad pull there by the number 9, pulled in it a second time, not permissible in the game, and Joe Leary deems it a throw-in. Chance of an attack there, lost by Cloyne. It's been a thrilling game. Can they pull it out of the fire? Just one score between the teams. And no, it's all over, and Aghabullogue have won this Riney final by the scoreline of 4-4 to 4-1. What thrilling match, could have gone either way, swung in both halves, first in favour of Aghabullogue, then in favour of Cloyne, and finally back in favour of the Mid Cork boys.